Good Clausen.
Hi, do we have a judge on this match? Yay.
Is this still visible for you? With Clausen moving the mat a little?
It's fine.
And Clausen draws his opening hand. Looks like he'll keep. And his opponent, Dan Signorini, is going to mulligan.
Actually, his mat seems to be in a better position.
Sure.
But, I mean, they're both still good. The bats are both fine. They're going to put their cards anywhere, like all over the place anyway.
Yeah.
No one cares where we want the cards to be.
Clausen, I talked to him, is pretty excited about the Player of the Year race. He really wants to overtake both Aaron Wayne, who's in the first, and who's first in the race, and Tom Ross, who's second. A win here would give him 20 points and put him right in the thick of the race.
Are people getting banned from the chat again?
Yeah, it looks like they are.
What?
Do you remember the command he did?
Basically,
What? Why did that happen?
how do you get rid of this?
Remove ban. Just hit remove at the bottom there. Bottom right. There you go. Okay, everybody try again to refresh your page, refresh your browser, and you should be allowed back into the chat.
Yeah, I don't know why Ustream does that. I think there's too many people. Maybe when too many people get in the chat, it just
Starts.
I don't know.
Maybe.
Maybe I need to put a bot in here that just goes in and does that and turns that off. We should probably do that.
So it looks like turn one Ponder for Dan Signorini. He drops down to 19 life thanks to the fetch land, Misty Rainforest. Couldn't see his Ponder cards. And he's doing a good job protecting his hand. But I see Exhume, 2 days, and is that a basic swamp, I think? So he's got the Entomb. He's looking for an Exhume rather. He's looking for an Entomb effect. And then maybe he'll get a 2/2 monster. But the Ponder, not sure what it gets him. Looks like he'll keep the top three that he has and draw a card. Clausen draws another tropical island. And looks like the card that Dan got was a Reanimate, so it could be a quick game if he can just find an Entomb. Clausen goes turn one Noble Hierarch. And I think he passed the turn. I think I heard him pass the turn.
I mean, that's a good place to pass a turn.
Yeah.
Turn Noble Hierarch. Can't really do much more than that.
Oh, it's a Mystical Tutor in Dan's hand that I was missing. So Mystical Tutor, if he just goes and gets an Entomb, he's got Entomb Exhume. Again, the matchups here are Clausen Fuentes playing the Natural Order Counterbalance top deck against Daniel Signorini, who's playing Reanimate.
There's a counterbalance.
And the other matchup is a Fish-Mir matchup between Tariq Sazam and William Greer. Let's see if this counterbalance gets past two of those dazes. Clausen, I think is sort of hoping that his opponent dazes it to remove, a daze from his hand so he can counter an important threat. And if it gets through, more power to him.
Does Fuentes also have a top in hand?
I did not see it, but I couldn't get a good look at his hand. So it's looking like his opponent Dan's considering casting a Mystical Tutor right now, or maybe casting Daze. He says, I'm going to do some thinking.
So So he sacks sack land before thinking about what he wants to do. Probably want to get your play in order before you...
Yeah, know exactly what you want to do
Right.
before you do it.
So we're going to respond to the counterbalance. Don't think we're actually going to counter the counterbalance. We just want to resolve some spells and hopefully not get things, countered by the counterbalance.
Sure. So yeah, Dan will get that in Tomb. He's got an Exhume and a Reanimate in his hand, so
if one of them resolves,
could get an Iona and seal this game up pretty quickly.
Well, I guess on white.
Iona or Sphinx of Steel Truce.
And we actually do also get a Daze. And another Daze, floating a blue or black.
So Colosso has the opportunity to Force Will here, but I think... unless he knows the top card of his library is a 1-coster, I think he just waits here. In fear of his opponent's next turn in Tomb. Looks like he'll just let him resolve, yeah. I agree with Colosso's play here.
Draws and Tomb that he put on top. He's going to play Underground River.
Underground Sea?
Is over the Underground Sea. And then Tomb. And there's a Force of Will. I should have saved one of those dazes to save this, to protect.
Well, he needed to cast both dazes because Colosso had an untapped Noble Hierarch.
Well, I mean, you play one daze, tap them out, and then you just let the counterbalance resolve and hope that,
Maybe. It's a 4 and black border Underground Sea. It's not a beta Underground Sea for Dan. And Natural Order into Progenitus seems to be the game.
And that's it.
Colosso takes the first game. Quick game 1. I'm going to go see if we have got a Game 1 win from the Fish Mirror match. Will these guys sideboard and shuffle up for Game 2?
So that's how you can win a get fast game with a 10-10 without the 10-10 actually coming into play.
Looks like Tariq won a quick Game 1 there.
I think you always make the Natural Order player search out the Progenitus, because what if it's in their hand?
It's possible that Colosso... I mean, he didn't have it in his hand there, but... Exactly, it's possible that happened. So let's look at these players' boards. We were talking about it a little bit earlier, but
Well, I mean, it looks like there's some conversation going on right now.
Colosso's trying to figure out if he wants to board in those submerges. Definitely boarding in that Tormod's Crypt. Probably not those Ravenous traps. He can't cast them if 3 cards don't go to the graveyard. Definitely boarding in the Sower of Temptations. And considering his other options, looks like Blazing Archon might go out for Dan. And looks like Tombstalker is coming in for Dan. After the Tombstalker, maybe...
I don't know how effective Tombstalker is as a sideboard card, because you're essentially putting in an alternate way to get, a big 5/5 flyer, but any sideboard cards that come in are either going to destroy your graveyard or, be able to deal with a singleton threat. Although you could probably sneak a Tombstalker out before a person, activates their Tormod's Crypt. But, is it just going to get Swords to Plowshares or Path to Exiled or something?
Maybe. So yeah, let's take a look at what is getting boarded in. I think that's really interesting. It looks like Dan is boarding out a bunch of his reanimation suite. He's boarding out 1 Exhume, and then all 3 of his creatures, and boarding in